Guys, forgive me if it sounds a bit bonkers today. It's just because I've got a fan directly into my face. It's just, again, so hot this weekend. I'm doing this on the Saturday. It's 30 degrees in the flat again. It's 30 plus degrees already. It's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon outside. So it's hot in the UK again. We are going to talk about a little bit of a mixture this week because the weekend when I went away for the wedding, so on Saturday I went to a family wedding, my husband's family, and it was like 24 degrees and kind of cloudy, and it rained a little bit, and it was such a shame because the rest of the week was so beautiful. But anyway, it wasn't the best weather, but it was a fabulous wedding, and I wore something awesome. You've already seen it. I'll talk about this in a little bit because let's do this according to size so I can put them on here in a sensible way. Let me start with, I'm just obsessed. I literally just got a backup of this because I saw a tester bottle for $19.99 for 100ml, and the tester of this has the notes on the side, and I just love that. But I'm just obsessed. So as soon as it was a cooler day, so I wouldn't be able to wear this in like 30-degree heat because it's too sweet, but Burberry Brit, the moment I had a chance, I had to wear Burberry Brit. This is the EDT because I'm obsessed. I love this. In the slightly hotter weather, this lasted a little bit longer than it has in the past, or maybe it's just because this is like an older bottle now. It's kind of aging and it's lasting a bit longer. I don't know that maybe the liquid is a tiny bit darker actually, but not like massively. But it's just heaven. This is the closest I'm going to get to wearing like a vanilla in hot weather, because there's definitely vanilla in it, but it's kind of sugary sweet, this one. So almond and pear, and I don't need to talk about it much because I'm obsessed with it. I talk about it all the time. But the EDT, the notes are green almond, lime, pear and lemongrass in the top, almond, sugar and peony in the mid, and vanilla, mahogany and amber in the base. It's just magic. I love this perfume. So yeah, at some point I'll have to do a video of my backup bottles and you'll be able to see how cool the tester bottle of this is. I just think it's great. So what else are we going to put up here? Oh, let me show you a new one. So I have put this on the forum to try and get Fragrantica to add this to the database, but it's not on there at the moment. This is, let me show you the box actually. You're getting a little sneak peek of some of the watermelon perfumes that are going to be up next week in my watermelon video. So this is Sweet 16 Coral, and this is from Jeanne Arthes, a real cheapie, and happily it has the notes written on the side of the box in lots of different languages. So the bottle, check this out. It's lurid in a way that I love. I love this shade on the lid, this kind of fluorescent coral. Love that colour. But anyway, so hefty bottle, Sweet 16 Coral, eau de parfum. It's got this cool kind of divot in the back, heart shaped, painted bright orange, which is pretty cool. So this has watermelon in it, but it kind of smells like a fruity cocktail. It's nice though. It's like a pineapple-y tropical fruity cocktail. That's what that smells like. I wore it the other day because I was wearing a dress that had kind of cartoons, or like weird illustrations, kind of childlike drawings all over it. And I just felt this went so well with it because it's such a fun perfume. So the notes in Sweet 16 Coral from Jeanne Arthes: top notes of watermelon, pineapple and blueberry. Heart notes of tiare flower, jasmine and tuberose. Base notes sandalwood, musk and ambergris. So I'm not going to go into this a huge amount because I talk about this in the video that's coming up on Wednesday. But if you like kind of tangy, fruity, sweet, smells like a cocktail kind of perfumes, this is really nice. I do feel like this is definitely in the same wheelhouse as Sorbetto Rosa and Batik Watermelon, SJP NYC, those kind of perfumes. But there's something about the pineapple and watermelon here that I'm kind of digging, and I think it's really nice. I get a kind of berry scent from the blueberry, but it's not specifically blueberry because it's overpowered by the pineapple, I'd say. But anyway, there are some flowers too. But yeah, like I said, I'll speak more about this. You'll be able to watch me talking about this on Wednesday. What else would fit perfectly up there? Ooh, let's go for this one. This is so good. I wore this on a 30-degree day and it's perfect. It's just so good for hot weather. All of this range are, to be fair, but this is by far my favourite and the only one I would kind of willingly pay the money for, because it's quite an expensive perfume. So this is Hermes Le Jardin de Monsieur, and it is the one in the, basically the one in the kind of yellow bottle. It looks quite similar, unless they're right next to each other. It looks quite similar to their pistachio and olive one, the more recent one that came out. Got their Jardin Cythery or something, I think it's called, which is also really nice. I have a couple of samples of that. I don't feel like I need a full bottle, but I do like it. Kind of in a weird way has something in it that reminds me of a sheerer, summery version of Covert by Sarah Jessica Parker. I don't entirely know why, but when it dries down, it makes me think of that. But anyway, I digress. Jardin de Monsieur Lee is absolutely scrummy in this hot weather. It's got a slightly weird scent, but I think it's so beautiful. So the notes that are listed are kumquat, jasmine, mint and green sap. Now, when I've worn this before, I've not been particularly aware of the mintiness, but I think because I wore it on such a hot day, I was like, oh, I can actually smell the mint here. It has like a refreshing quality that mint has, but it doesn't at all smell toothpastey. So it's almost like you're getting the cooling effect without being like, oh, mint. You know what I mean? I've got a couple of other mint perfumes, or perfumes that have mint notes, that really, really do have a very obvious minty quality. But this is more akin to like the Elizabeth Arden green tea, where I think there's mint in it and it has a beautiful freshness, but you're not like, oh, I smell a mint note. But I really got that fresh, slightly tingly feel this time. The kumquat is fresh and juicy and delicious. The jasmine's quite unusual. Something about the green sap and the jasmine here almost smells like plastic. I think I once heard Sarah May say it smells a bit like vinyl, and I know what she means. But I think that's why this is so magic. It's got like a citrusy fruitiness without actually smelling too much like a citrus. And it's got jasmine that doesn't smell like the regular jasmine at all, which is probably why I like this so much, because sometimes I get a bit funny with jasmine. It can be overwhelming and a bit screechy to me. Not so in here. This is amazing. It's one that I find very easy to wear. And I mean, the longevity I find on this one is kind of... It's quite light, but it lasts quite nicely. So it's kind of like, I reckon I want to respray this thoroughly, maybe after 4 hours, but I probably don't really need to until like 5 or 6 hours. So it's actually not bad for something that's so kind of sheer and fresh. Oh, but it's beautiful. So I love Le Jardin de Monsieur Lee. Now, I haven't ever smelled anything that smells exactly like this, but I do think if you want something that doesn't smell the same but has a similar feel, then I always say that 4711 Starfruit and White Flowers, that one, it doesn't, like I said, it's not a dupe at all. They don't smell the same, but they give me the same feel to wear. So if I'm in the mood to wear this one, but for some reason I didn't want to take this out with me, or I don't know, or I didn't have it with me, I could very happily wear Starfruit and White Flowers, and I feel like they're kind of interchangeable in that specific mood I have. But yeah, I mean, that's a much more affordable kind of yummy white flowers with an unusual juicy fruit. So yeah, absolutely scrumptious. Love that one. So what are we going to do next? I've got a couple of tall ones here. Oh, I've got more tall ones than I realised. I might have to change some of this up. Let's push the Monsieur Lee over here, even though it's beautiful, and let's talk about this. I got this one a while back, but I was just in the mood for lavender, but I didn't want anything too thick because like I was lounging around the house, it was very hot, and I just thought this is the time to break this bad boy out. Yeah, this is pretty. This is nice. I don't know that this is going to please everyone because it's sweet, but it's sweet in quite an unusual way. So this is the Remix Cologne from 4711, and this is the Lavender Remix Cologne. So it's the Lavender edition of 4711 Remix Cologne. This, when it dries down, it definitely reminds me a little bit of Calvin Klein's Obsessed for women. The one I used to have in the beautiful transparent round bottle. But this one is more citrusy, it's fresher, it's lighter, it's more like a cologne. It doesn't have the same amount of ISO-E super in that one did, which is what kind of, I think, was the nail in the coffin for that for me. But it does have some similar notes to that one, and when it dries down, it kind of reminds me of it a little bit, but not enough to make me feel a bit queasy, because I fully went off that perfume, even though I think it's beautiful. I did actually explain in my declutter video, and I'm trying to remember whether that one's gone up or not, I'm not sure. But the notes in this are lavender, bergamot, lemon and mate, so mate tea in the top. Middle notes are iris, freesia and hibiscus seed. The base notes are musk, praline and sandalwood. So the praline is what is giving it this real sweetness. The tea is giving it a slightly unusual aromatic scent. Then you've got a really obvious lavender, really obvious citruses, but it's very musky in the dry down. It's a bit woody, and then you've got that iris. So a bit powdery. It's very pretty. I think it's really nice. I've seen someone compare this, I think, to not a Jean Paul Gaultier. What have I seen them compare this to? Let me have a little scroll down and see. Oh yes, number 5 Le Eau. I don't really get that from it myself. In fact, if I'm looking through the comparisons, the ones that I know from here I don't agree with. I don't think this smells like Yardley Lavender particularly. That one's even fresher, not as sweet, a bit more sheer. It's compared to Eau Parfum Eau the Blue from Bulgari. I haven't smelt that one, but that is a lavender, tea and iris and musk perfume by the looks of it, so I can imagine they probably have some real crossovers. But yeah, this is comforting. It's really nice, but it's not so thick that you couldn't wear it in hotter weather. So this worked really nicely. It really scratched an itch for me when I needed something sweet and lavendery, but when I was just kind of bumming around the house. So that's beautiful. Next up, all right, let's go for some tall ones now that we've got some space. So, Satsuma from the Body Shop, so cute. This was an interesting one because genuinely, when I first got this, I sprayed it out and I was like, that is a delicious, juicy, perfect Satsuma. I love it. And then it got kind of soapy and I didn't love it so much anymore. And I was a bit like, oh, I wasn't expecting this to smell soapy. It kind of smells like a Satsuma version of the Body Shop's Fuzzy Peach when it dries down. Maybe not quite as sweet, but so I wasn't too keen, but I was comparing it to the mango and the passion fruit body sprays that I'd just got from there. But then actually I loved it when I was wearing it. I was just wearing it, I put it on first thing in the morning. It really freshened me up, made me feel all yummy and clean and just smelled lovely. And again, it was one of the days where I just needed that freshness, you know, when I got up because it was so hot. And I really enjoyed it. It lasts better on clothes than it does on skin, for sure. I think it's a real shame that this does not have the perfume version. I think it's a shame that they're doing the body mist rather than the perfume. I think it was an eau de toilette they did before, but it's lovely. Yeah, I mean, that's a bit of a classic. So that's Satsuma body mist from the Body Shop. I think it's come back as a limited edition, which, I mean, why? I mean, just bring back the things that people love and keep them. But anyway, they don't list any other notes other than Satsuma in that, but there's definitely other notes because Satsuma doesn't smell soapy. Okay, and then we've got some more tall ones. So I wore this guy. Oh, so green, so sort of sweet and juicy, so aromatic and herbaceous and just impossible to get, sadly. This is Brocard. This is their blackcurrant. Oh, not blackcurrant. This is their wait, is it called tomato leaf and blackcurrant? Yes, tomato leaf and blackcurrant. Sorry, that's what it's called. They do also have one that's called blackcurrant and mint that smells very similar to this. And that's why I decluttered it, because I have loads of this. As you can see, this used to be a signature scent of mine, so I've been through many bottles. When I finally have a batch to do empties, I've actually got a batch of like smaller ones and rollables and a few full sizes, but you'll be seeing this guy because I get through a lot of this. Oh, I mean, it's kind of my answer to Liberty Fizz. It doesn't smell exactly the same at all, but it gives me, again, a similar feeling wearing it, which is why it was my my signature scent for so long, and I do really like a tomato leaf note. So this is tomato leaf, blackcurrant, mint, thyme, musk, orange and jasmine, and you can kind of smell a little bit of everything there. It's absolutely delicious and beautiful, musky, sweet, tangy, fresh. If you smell Hermes from L'Occitane, that one also has a kind of similar scent to this. But yeah, it's beautiful. I just really like it. I think it's absolutely delicious. So, I don't know if we're ever going to be able to get Brocard perfumes again. It's a bit sad because they're a really fun, affordable perfume brand. Like, they come out with stuff a lot. But anyway, okay, this big bad boy, another one that you'll be getting a sneak peek of because this is part of my watermelon video. Body spray, Island Fantasy by Britney Spears. Now, I would rather not have body sprays generally. I would much rather have actual perfumes in glass bottles, but you can't get Island Fantasy anymore. Like, this is not one that they produce anymore, but it seems to be very easy to get the body spray version. And I've just been really enjoying this for like a fresh, fruity, aquatic scent. And if you've been watching me for ages, you will know that generally I haven't ever got on with the fantasy range from Britney Spears. They've always either been sort of eye-piercingly screechy, which is definitely some kind of aroma chemical, or they've been like very shampoo-y. So, for instance, I had a bottle and I love this general smell of Midnight Fantasy. I think it's one of her best, but it's just too shampoo for me. I can't wear it, and sadly I've never found anything that smells like it but like minus that shampoo-y quality. So that one I couldn't wear. It just gave me a headache. It just made me feel a bit queasy. The original Fantasy, not so much. I've tried loads of them. I've reviewed loads of Britney's perfumes on my channel. This one though I really like. I was saying, when I made the video, I was saying like it's possible I might use it like a room spray because I like the smell, but it's like, it's really light, it's quite fleeting, but now it's very, very hot. I've been really enjoying just spraying this all over myself, and I guess that's the joy of a body spray, right? Is like you really can feel like you're soaking yourself and really just making yourself really fresh and a little bit kind of cooled down with a body spray because you can go ham with it. So this is top notes of watermelon, citruses, clementine, mandarin, orange and red berries, mid notes of freesia, violet and jasmine, base notes sugarcane and musk. So obviously I can't compare this to the actual perfume because I've never smelt the perfume, but this particular one you do get a bit of watermelon, and you definitely get, running through this whole thing, the kind of watery feel, the watery cooling feel that you get from things like watermelon, cucumber, star fruit, dragon fruit, that kind of feel, you know, that crisp, watery. It's like aquatic if it's a fruit aquatic, you know, like water if it's provided by fruit. Probably the same with like cactus, you know, that feel. But I think in the main the actual scent is much more dominated by the clementine and the citruses, maybe a bit of red berry, but I'm getting quite a lot of clementine here. It's very citrusy. I don't get loads of flowers, not in this body spray anyway, and you definitely get a bit of sugar. There is a sweetness, but this is one of the tartest and most tangy Britneys that I've smelt. Normally they have something in them that's very sugary, but this is like, it's sweetened and it's sugary, but it's not like sweet sugary. It's just taking the edge off what could be a sharp scent. And I really like this. I think this is lovely. So yeah, I'm enjoying this one far more than I actually thought that I would. Even when I did my watermelon video, I was like, I mean, it's nice, but I don't know if I'll reach for it. I'm not reaching for it because I want to wear watermelon though, that's the thing. I'm reaching for this one because, I mean, same with this, like that has watermelon, but it's not strong, it's not a watermelon perfume. This is definitely not to me a watermelon perfume, even though watermelon has been voted as a top note, but that baffles me. I smell watermelon, especially when I first spray it, but then it's just a beautiful citrus. Like, I'm really enjoying how this smells. I'm sad I can't get a bottle of it because I think I would really like it. I'm just looking at this and it says if you want a bottle of the rare Island Fantasy, it's £144. But you can get this for $7.99. So I mean, you know, come on. Am I mad? Okay. speaking of madness, let's talk about a collector's item, shall we? So on one of my cooler days, because before I went to the wedding, I did my classic toning with my Lush Daddy-O and Lush Ultraviolet, and it always makes me smell a bit violety, and so I fancied violet. And now if I fancy violet, if I'm not going to wear Stella Pop, which also has a fair bit of violet in, I'm going to wear a Lolita Lempicka. So I wore my Lolita Lempicka EDT, the Love Bite one that has the cool bite taken out the side of it. Oh, it's just, what a heavenly scent. Let's put this over here. It's just really nice in warm weather. Like, I wouldn't necessarily put this one on when it's very, very hot, like 30 degrees. It's maybe going to dry down to be a little bit too strong and a bit too sweet for me, even though it is quite sheer. Like, it's just so pretty. If you know what Lolita Lempicka smells like, this one just smells like a sheerer, not as sweet, less kind of sexy musky, and more lemony and apricot-y smell, because this has almond, cherry, vanilla, amalfi, lemon and apricot in the top. It's got mid notes of iris, licorice and jasmine, base notes violet, leaf, incense and musk. It's slightly it's definitely less cherry and more apricot and lemon. You do get a sense of a bit of almond. You definitely get iris. There's that lovely like smokiness in here, that combination of the licorice and incense. I mean, to be honest, to me it smells a little bit like cigarette ash, but in a way that I actually quite enjoy here. It goes really well. And you do get violet, you get that violet leaf, but I think this maybe is a little bit stronger in the iris. I don't really pick up jasmine in it, but it's just gorgeous. Again, sadly discontinued, but you can buy the EDT for not too outrageous prices. So what did I wear to the wedding? This one, which I'd said I might discontinue. I said I might declutter it, but I wanted to keep hold of it because I felt like it would be perfect to wear to a wedding, and it is perfect to wear to a wedding, and I really enjoyed wearing it. Oh, it's really nice. It's really lovely. So, Tocca Giulietta, this beautiful bottle. I've just realised I've got a long, thin one to end with, so let's pull these along over here so I can pop it in at the end. So, Giulietta. The thing with Giulietta that I wasn't sure about, I mean, generally speaking, it was a very confusing thing because I'd seen Amy Glam talking about this one. She used to wear this all the time. She loved it. It was one of her hot weather perfumes. And she would always say how fresh it was and stuff. And then when I got it, I was like, ooh, this is so much sweeter than I was imagining it would be. It's very perfumey floral to me, this one. And it's beautiful and bright, but it's not one, like, it doesn't compare to this as a freshie or this as a freshie or this. Like, these to me, these are freshies. This is more like in the same kind of category as this one, that you can definitely wear it in warmer weather, but it's got more body to it. It's kind of sweeter. So I wasn't really sure about it. And then because I struggle with green apple so much, especially green apples with flowers in a perfume often smells like a candle to me. So I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to wear this one. I don't think I'm loving it. And I thought maybe I'd get rid of it, especially when I got the Lolita Lempicka Fleur de Fondue, which I just think smells like green apple and mimosa and almonds and stuff. Like, so I was like, maybe I don't need this. But I knew I was going to the wedding, so I kept hold of it. I wore it to the wedding and I absolutely loved it, and it is such a perfect wedding perfume. And I have to say, I think this is just one that I don't like wearing inside, but outside I think it's lovely. There's something about the green appley perfumes, maybe not inside, but outdoors I think they're lovely. This is beautiful. So this is Granny Smith apple in the top with ylang ylang and pink tulip. In the mid there's lilac, lily of the valley, iris, orchid and rose. And then the base notes are musk, heliotrope, sandalwood, amber and Virginia cedar. So yeah, this is actually beautiful. I'm definitely keeping it. It's a perfect hot weather occasion perfume. Again, not one I'd call a freshie, but I feel like this does actually smell better in warmer weather than it does in cold. That's the same with Stella, actually. I feel like the Tocca perfumes maybe are just designed to be worn in hot weather, because pretty much all of them to me smell billion times better in hot weather. Like, I don't really reach for any of the Toccas when it's cooler. Even in like spring, I generally prefer these in summer. So it's really perfect for a wedding. And if I ever get my arse into gear and I actually make a wedding perfume video, I feel like I've kind of missed that season this year, and I've got too many things backed up to go out. But maybe next year I'll actually make a wedding perfume video, and this one will certainly be in it. I think it's just perfect. I loved it. It's delicious. So yeah. Oh, lilac. I know it's really appley. And I do get a little hint of the lilac and maybe the orchid, and I don't really know what tulip smells like, but it does have quite an unusual scent. I feel like the heliotrope in the base is probably what is making this so sweet. And the musk is quite thick here as well, but it's gorgeous. The amber might be sweetening up as well, but yeah, it's definitely, it's more of a hefty fragrance than I had envisioned when I first got it. I got this secondhand from eBay, which is why there's a big dent in it, but I also decanted some of this into a smaller bottle to take with me, and then that bottle leaked all over my bag, and that's how I know that I really actually quite enjoyed this, because normally when something goes all over a bag, and it went all over my face mask that I wear on the tube, and I still had to wear that face mask because it's the only one that I had with me, it's a silk one, and I really liked how it smelled. So the fact that it didn't drive me around the bend would suggest that actually in hot weather I was really digging this one. And then I also wore this guy, another one that was briefly a signature scent. I actually wore this on the same day that I wore this one. So this here is I'm going to try and bring it up so you can see it properly. Let's try and get this into focus. Viktoria Minya, and this is the Hedinus Cassis that has the lovely crystals in the bottle. So the Viktoria Minya, can you see that one? Is it all twisted around? Oh, whatever. Let's just get this back where we want it to be. So Hedinus Cassis, this is one that I bought to wear as a signature scent because, again, they discontinued my beloved Label Cerucci Liberty Fizz, and I was like, ugh, what am I going to wear? I need something that has that kind of tangy tomato leaf, juicy, fruity yumminess. And I don't know if this one actually came out before this one did, but it's this one I certainly got before this one took over. And the Brocard tomato leaf and blackcurrant took over specifically because this was so expensive. So yeah, I've only got this little travel spray now. I used to have the actual full bottle, but they're so expensive. So I was like, no, I can't wear that as a signature scent. It's too pricey. So top notes are blackcurrant, grapefruit and rhubarb. The middle notes are cassis, grass and Bulgarian rose, and the base notes are cedar and musk. It's a very dry, crisp, acidic perfume that has a real greenness, and like there is a juicy sweetness from the rhubarb and the blackcurrant, but it's tart. It's tart and dry, and the rose in it is very dry. So it doesn't, I mean, it in some ways it does remind me of Liberty Fizz, but it doesn't actually smell like Liberty Fizz. It's got like much crisper, much drier florals. Liberty Fizz has wisteria and what's it called? Freesia, and it's kind of a bit more fluffy and a bit softer and a bit more delicate. This is, it's got that grassiness, so it's got the greenness. It does actually smell like there's tomato leaf in it, even though it's not listed. I'd say this has got like a decent longevity, but with a small scent bubble. And I think it smells very similar to the Miller Harris Lost in the City. So I have somewhere, which I can't remember where I've put it, but somewhere I have a 15ml of that one, and I thought that I really liked it at first, but actually I just think there's something in Miller Harris perfumes that goes a bit weird on my skin, because that one just smells a bit funny on me, whereas this one, which is very similar, works quite well. But because it's so dry and it's so rose forward, I don't like it as much as I used to, but I think that's also because now I have this, I like this one better, as that has like, it has a softer, it, and it's probably a little bit more sweet. It It's still very green, but this is like a dry, grassy green, and this is a more kind of lush green. But it's still very beautiful. It's just very expensive. I'm very happy to have this little travel size. But yeah, I don't really think it's I don't think it's one that I would ever need a big bottle of, because I'm only going to wear it like once in a blue moon. And it is, again, it's one that I think is much nicer in warmer weather. So yeah, I think that's it. I did smell some other things, but I can't remember what they are right now, so I will have to talk about them another time. But I'm thinking though, guys, I'm going to have to explore some of the other fantasies that I haven't smelt yet, just to see, because I actually now have a couple of Britney Spears fantasies in my collection, both of which I really like, and they are the more fruity, juicy ones. But I do really want to smell the candied fantasy, because that's got like a bubblegum note, so I'm interested in that. I'm not brave enough to blind buy it, just because I have been burnt so many times with the Britney perfumes. But I think I should be able to smell that one in store if I go to, I think it's called Body Care or Beauty Care or something in Stratford. So whenever I get the opportunity, I'm going to be doing that. But until then, tell me what you've been wearing. If it's been hot where you are especially, give us a shout for your favourite hot weather things, because it's getting toasty. So I hope you could hear me. I hope my fan isn't ruining this recording. I will be gutted if I have to do it all over again. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the watermelon video I've done for Wednesday, and I'll see you again next Sunday. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.